You've been told that morality is universal. That good is good and evil is evil. You've been told that Christianity brought about the highest moral standard. But what if everything you've been taught about morality is a tool of control? What if the values you hold dear, the ones you've inherited without questioning, are not actually there to empower you? What if they were designed to weaken you? What if, instead of lifting you up, these values were created to make sure you stay submissive, obedient, and compliant? This is where Friedrich Nietzsche comes in. Nietzsche saw Christianity as one of the greatest manipulative forces ever created in human history. And he argued that the morality Christians preach, what he called slave morality, was designed not for human flourishing, but for control. Nietzsche didn't believe in the popular idea that Christianity represented the highest moral good. In fact, he believed it represented the lowest form of morality. This video is about how slave morality, the morality that Christianity popularized, still rules you today. And how you can break free from it to empower yourself and embrace a master morality. A morality that will help you rise above the herd, become stronger, and live on your own terms. 1. The rise of slave morality. How Christianity changed the moral landscape. Nietzsche's critique of Christianity is centered on his idea of slave morality. But first, let's define what Nietzsche meant by slave morality. In Nietzsche's view, slave morality is a morality that values humility, obedience, and self-sacrifice. It values the weak, the suffering, and the meek, the people who have nothing and want to keep it that way. Slave morality is reactionary. It is built to oppose the strength of the masters, the people who create and dominate the world. How did Christianity promote this kind of morality? Nietzsche believed that Christianity created a moral code that rewards weakness and punishes strength. It tells you that suffering is noble, that self-sacrifice is virtuous, and that love your enemy is the highest form of goodness. But here's the problem. Christianity inverted natural human instincts. It turned strength into weakness, and weakness into strength. Instead of celebrating the powerful, it celebrated the powerless. Instead of encouraging you to rise above, Christianity taught you to accept your place, to serve others, and to suffer in the name of goodness. Nietzsche saw this as a moral trap. Why? Because slave morality doesn't allow you to grow. It doesn't allow you to assert yourself. It doesn't encourage you to become stronger or more powerful. It keeps you in check. 2. Master morality, the alternative to slave morality. Now let's talk about master morality. This is the morality Nietzsche believed was original, and it was pushed aside by slave morality. Master morality is the morality of those who create, rule, and dominate the world. It's the morality of strength, power, and individual will. In master morality, the strong, the creative, and the dominant are celebrated. Instead of following the rules, masters make their own rules. They decide what is right and wrong. They live by their own values, not by the values imposed by others. Master morality doesn't care about sacrifice or meekness. It doesn't care about turning the other cheek. It doesn't teach you to submit or serve. It teaches you to assert yourself, to create, to conquer, and to shape the world around you. For Nietzsche, the ideal person is the overman, the Übermensch, a person who transcends the limitations of traditional morality and creates their own values. The Übermensch doesn't need the approval of others. The Übermensch dominates life and lives life according to their own will. This is the morality that Christianity has tried to suppress. It is the morality of the strongest, the most creative, and the most powerful. And yet, Christianity has made us believe that being weak is virtuous, that suffering is a path to salvation, and that self-denial is the highest form of goodness. 3. Slave morality today. How it still rules you. So, how does slave morality still rule you today? Well, it's embedded in every institution in our society. From education to politics, to media, to social norms, slave morality has seeped into everything. Let's look at how modern society reinforces this slave morality. It celebrates victimhood and helplessness. It tells you to sacrifice your desires for the greater good. It teaches you to deny your will, to fit into societal expectations, and to play it safe. Think about the messages we're constantly bombarded with. Don't rock the boat. Be humble. Think of others before yourself. These are all reflections of slave morality, a morality that keeps you from asserting your own power and desires. Society tells you that modesty is a virtue. It tells you to be quiet, to be nice, and to never demand too much. It tells you that if you're successful, it's because you've been lucky. It tells you to accept your place, even when you know deep down you were meant for more. But why should you accept these values? Why should you worship suffering and submission? Why should you follow a moral code that weakens you? 4. Breaking free. How to embrace master morality. The solution is to break free from the chains of slave morality. Here's what Nietzsche suggested. You don't need to believe in self-sacrifice. You don't need to live your life for others. You don't need to follow a moral code that doesn't serve you. Instead, embrace master morality. Start creating your own values. Live according to your own will. Assert yourself, pursue your own desires, and reject the limitations that society imposes on you. This doesn't mean you should become a tyrant. It doesn't mean you should harm others. It means you should live for yourself, claim your power, and embrace your strength. It means you should stop sacrificing and start living. If you want to live a life of true freedom, power, and fulfillment, you need to recognize that slave morality has been keeping you in check your entire life. You've heard the truth. Now ask yourself, are you living by slave morality, or are you ready to embrace the master morality that will set you free? Let's discuss in the comments. And if this made you rethink morality, share it with someone still trapped in the illusion.